Coming up on this episode of Nintendo Cartridge Society, colors weave into a spire flame, distant sparks call to a past still unnamed. Bear this torch against the cold of the night, search your soul and reawaken the undying light. It's dangerous to go alone, so the Nintendo Cartridge Society goes with ya. Welcome to Nintendo Cartridge Society. My name is Patrick Ellers. I am joined, as always, by my co-host Mark Mitchell. Mark, how are you?
I'm doing great. Is it weird that the Switch has brought out these like Nintendo jams?
We are getting so many Nintendo jams.
You got
this generation. We got the ARMS song.
You got Jump Up Superstars.
Yep, and you got the song at the end of Odyssey with that like Japanese punk rock song.
You got like these lyrics to the Super Smash Brothers theme song, which surprising.
Yeah, surprising, but it's a singing time, man. I say let's lean into it.
If you have a song in your heart, who am I to say no?
Right.
Unless you're an a cappella group.
Right. And this is well-trod territory now. If you're an a cappella group, it's fine. You can be passionate about it. Just know I'm going to be a little bit embarrassed. For you.
But that's fine. Like, you don't have to be embarrassed.
No. Again, those people are wired differently. They don't feel shame in the same way that I do.
Speaking of shame,
we've got a great show for you today. We are going to be talking all about our first weekend experience with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and I'm very excited for this. It feels like very early days for me still.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So I like maybe this is a review, maybe this is impressions. This is you and me talking about a game that we'll continue to talk about probably for months to come. But in the meantime, speaking of things that we can talk about for months to come and have been talking about for a year, you can borrow my copy of Sonic Forces if you so choose.
It's easy to do.
Yeah, all you got to do, go to a computer or phone or tablet or anything that has the internet and send us an email. Email address is nintendocartridgesociety@gmail.com, and you can give us a mailing address. Is this your mailing address? Is it your grandmother's mailing address? Is it your work's mailing address? Frankly, I don't care.
We're indifferent.
Yeah, I will just send my copy of Sonic Forces to any of those locations, and whoever the recipient is will be able to play the game for as long as they choose or not, and then send it back to me or not.
Yeah, Patrick pays for return postage.
Yeah, so it costs you nothing. You get a chance to play a Sonic the Hedgehog game. Some would say among the top 20 Sonic the Hedgehog
30.
Games? 30 max.
At worst.
Right. And then you send it back along to us, and, whatever. Look, I don't know where the game is right now. I sent it off to someone, and maybe they're playing it. Maybe they've forgotten about it. Maybe they're using it as part of a coaster. You'd probably need a lot of Switch games like glued together to be one coaster.
Yeah, maybe they're like a serial killer, and that's what they do.
Oh,
they,
sure.
Get Switch cartridges and
just make coasters.
And make coasters out of them.
Where do they find time for all the killing when they're making coasters?
We're helping society. They don't have the time.
Plus, we are taking Sonic Forces out of my home, which helps society in a different way.
As Doris Day would say, que sera, sera.
Yeah, whatever will be. Here's another thing that you can do with that email address, and this one is much more important, and we need you all to do it.
That's right.
We are going to be determining, like we said, we're going to be talking about Smash for months. We are going to be determining which franchise has contributed the most to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now, when we say most, we don't necessarily mean in terms of volume. We mean who has given the best of themselves to Smash.
Yeah, when you think of Smash Brothers, which Nintendo franchise, or I guess any franchise, comes to mind?
Castlevania.
Which one do you think is like the most important to making Smash what it is?
Right. And now, if you recall, we named the best Smash character Captain Falcon, although that list has since been definitivized, right?
That's right. We struck it from the list of definitive lists.
That's right. But could you make an argument that F-Zero made the best contributions to Smash Brothers? It would be a hard argument to make. But those levels are cool. I like all the... Anyway, this is what we're going to try to determine. Can you make a case for Kirby? Can you make a case for Fire Emblem? Can you make a case for Metroid? You should figure out who you think is the best, who you think is the worst, and email us Nintendo Cartridge Society at gmail.com. Because otherwise, Mark and I are just going to talk about Mario the whole time.
Yeah, and we're going to be recording this episode in less than a month. And, you still have the holidays coming up, so get those recommendations in now so you don't have to worry about it later.
Or, if you don't get it in before the holidays, when you're sitting at the Christmas dinner table and everyone is going around saying what they're thankful for. It's the wrong holiday, but they're doing it anyway.
You can be thankful at Christmas.
Of course. Hey, we should all be thankful every day.
Every day is Thanksgiving.
That's right. If you choose to give thanks. What you should do is you should say, hey, everyone, what franchise do you think has brought the most
icebreaker?
To Super Smash
That's
Brothers?
A great icebreaker.
Great icebreaker. People will say, what are you talking about? What's a Smash Brother?
Office parties. Mm-hmm. Also a great icebreaker. Before everybody started drinking, when everybody's just kind of like awkwardly standing around.
That's right. You need something to talk about before you're drunk, and that is trying to convince someone that Ice Climber has contributed the most to Super Smash Brothers. You can do it. I believe in you. All right, Mark, it is time for us to have our grand review discussion of Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. Game came out on Friday. When I assume that you got a digital version of this, as you have gone mostly digital on your Switch?
Yep, that's right. So it unlocked at like 9 p.m. for me.
Oh, on Thursday night?
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. I didn't even try until Friday morning before work. Thursday night I was in a recording session and like kind of working on stuff sort of late, and so it was just like, you know what, I'm gonna put off all of this Smash until Friday, and kind of thought I won't even touch it until I get home from work on Friday, but I did squeeze in a couple matches on Friday morning, like literally 4 matches, like just a couple Smash fights. That was my Friday morning experience with it.
What's your go-to like rule preset?
Time. I like the time one that they have, the 3.5 minutes. All items. And yeah, just like the base preset. How do you like to play?
Is there a base preset that's like 3 stock, 2 minutes 30-second time? All items. I think
so. Yeah.
That's what I've been doing.
So you're a stock man.
I am.
Okay.
But I like the combination of stock and time, because occasionally, like growing up, we would always play 5 stock.
Yeah.
And that can be a little long.
Yeah, that can go a long time. And you just need someone to say, okay, that's enough.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I don't need matches to last forever, especially when there is so much content in this game to get to and to try out. I don't need to make any individual fight last forever.
Yeah. Speaking of the amount of content that's in the game, what is like the first thing that you did when you booted it up?
The first thing I did when I booted it up, I just went into a Smash. Just from the Smash option, and just did a time match of 2.5 minutes, myself versus 2 computer players. I don't know if I've expressed this enough on this show, but my go-to Super Smash Brothers, like the one that before this game came out was like the version of the game that I had spent the most time on for sure, and the one that's just like nearest and dearest to my heart is 3DS. And on 3DS, you could do 4 players, but like the screen is so small that like 3 is sort of like the sweet spot where you can actually see what's happening. And so I just sort of carried that into how I play this game. I like to do, if I'm just like doing a quick Smash fight, is myself against 2 other characters. What's the first thing you did?
So, same thing. I went straight to Smash.
Yep.
I first did like 5 stock. No time limit, because I'm like, that's Smash Brothers to me. Set up 4 computer characters. And, when you're starting this game, you only have the original 8
Yeah,
characters to choose from.
It's such a funny character select screen to look at. Like, it seems so archaic,
especially when you know what's coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was a little bit perfect for me because I set up 4 players, had like the original Smash roster.
Yeah.
So it was enough of that like nostalgia hit, including the battle going on for too long because 5 stock
it's too many.
is a lot.
Yeah.
But like I picked Pikachu because he was my go-to in the original Smash, and because that is Smash Brothers for me, is just like Smash, just the
Nintendo 64 version, or
no, I'm sorry, the that game mode.
Oh, sure, yeah. Smash for me is the overwhelming abundance of game modes. Like, that is something that I really liked about the 3DS version. That it had, sort of like a regular arcade mode that was just, like a series of fights. It had the All-Star mode, which, pits you against all of the characters in like release order. And then it also had that Smash Run mode, which was a mess, but like kind of fun. And then also Smash itself. So like, I love that there are so many different ways. And as soon as you get bored with one, you can like switch over to another. Which I found myself doing with this a lot.
I found myself doing it with this a lot too, way more than I ever remember doing it with any of the previous Smash Brothers.
Oh,
games.
really? That is interesting. So, man, there are so many different ways to go here. I kind of don't know how to structure this conversation. So, forgive us, listener, as we sort of stab our way through this. Did you play online at all?
Yeah, I did. So I actually ended up buying a Ethernet like connector for my Switch, and I guess I was compelled by the last Smash Direct,
right?
Even though
if Sakurai says you should really have this adapter, like, you should get the adapter.
And I wasn't really expecting to play very much Smash Online because I don't really play a lot of these Nintendo games online. Other like Splatoon, yes. Mario Kart, no, because I always get to, or I'll play the like mini games in Mario Kart online, but the races I do not play.
What do you mean the mini games, like the
balloon mode? Yeah, the battle mode.
Sure.
But I won't play the races because I just get completely worked.
Some people are too good at that game,
and that's how I remember playing Brawl online. Oof. And I know their netcode was bad, but yeah, just like every time I would get completely destroyed.
Yeah.
This time I've been playing it, and I have not won a 4-person Smash, but right. I've held my own.
That's
and so
good.
yeah, I've been having fun. I am no technical expert, but the performance is not awesome.
Oh yeah.
It connects like quickly, which I don't know really if that was a problem in the Wii U version, but of course Brawl was notoriously had terrible connectivity.
If it ever connected, yeah.
But I've just had like weird things, like real bad slowdown. It's not like lag.
Laggy, yeah.
It's just like everything slows down to a crawl, and then you perform like some like rushing attack.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it just like goes away all of a sudden.
I
don't know if that's their answer to lag, is just
slow everything down.
Yeah.
That's not a great solution. I was reading. I didn't go online at all. Was either playing by myself or bringing it over to friends and playing with people there. And it is something that I would like to get into, but I do not have the Ethernet adapter, and I was kind of like, well, I want to wait until I do to actually go online. Sakurai said, have this adapter. I didn't listen.
I think it makes sense given, I think we've both experienced that the Switch's Wi-Fi isn't awesome.
Yeah. That its internal Wi-Fi antenna doesn't do a great job of picking. But like, playing Brawlhalla or Brawlout online was actually pretty snappy. Brawlhalla especially felt like effortless and quick, and I never really experienced any like dropped games or any slowdown or even any real noticeable delay. But I've also I've experienced weird lag when playing like Street Fighter 5 on my PlayStation, which is hardwired in too. So like, I don't know, we think we live in the future, but we don't. We live in we're cavemen.
Present.
Yes, we are cavemen who live in the present. We are Encino men, is what I'm saying.
So going around the menu clockwise,
Mm.
next is spirits.
Yes.
Now, I have to admit, I don't entirely understand spirits at all.
I have to admit that I love the spirits mode. I think it is so much fun. It succeeds on exactly what I was saying about it when it was first sort of revealed, that I used to always, like, I would play Street Fighter and I would build like a little narrative, setting up 2-player matches, me versus the computer, of like, okay, so now Ryu's gotta infiltrate the army base, so like, okay, I've gotta fight Guile, and then like would just like go through and like craft a rudimentary stupid narrative, and be like, oh, okay, he spits fire, so he's like a dragon, sure. And that's what this game does, but it does so by like manipulating all of the different rules that it can.
So you're talking about like the World of Light,
both the World of Light
story mode
and the spirits board.
Okay.
So in both of those, you are encountering a spirit, which is a character from somewhere in the Nintendo universe, and it is being represented by one of the characters within Smash Brothers that is either a different color or equipped with an item, or uses a one move specifically to emulate what that character would do or how they would behave.
So maybe I don't understand what the spirit board is or how it functions.
Sure. So the spirit board, you see a grid of, you start with 6. I can currently see maybe 10. 6 spirits, right, that are randomly selected, and you can see their star value, which is 1, 2, 3, or master. And they all have like a little countdown timer on them for like the amount of time that they're available to challenge. And so, if the one that I can think of right now is Snorlax, right? And so you would see the Snorlax there, and you would select it, and then you challenge the game's approximation of what a Snorlax is. And the Snorlax in this game is a gray King K. Rool who cannot move and has 500 hit points, and you have to kill him in a minute. So it doesn't move, but you have to try your hardest to deal 500 damage to a King K. Rool before the time runs out.
I didn't realize that's what the spirit board was. I thought it was like a store. Like that you were
Sure,
like spending the gold or whatever GP on.
Yeah, because it looks like the old store where you would buy trophies, right? Or like items or, whatever in previous Smash games. But it's not. It is, that's like the spirit board where you are basically summoning these spirits to fight them and then get them.
So have you been like equipping spirits?
Yes.
Okay, and then can you also level up spirits? Because they're like items like food or that kind of stuff, and like it's also complex.
Sit back. Let me explain it to you.
It's like I don't need this in my Smash game. Like
right.
I just don't understand. I haven't wrapped my head around it yet, so I haven't really dived into it.
And I mean, there is so much in this game, right? That even if you were to take spirits and the World of Light and the spirit board off of it, like I have unlocked so far, maybe I've got like 52 characters, maybe. I still have another 20 plus to go. I'm going to be working at it for a while. But the spirits add like a whole new just like range of things to accomplish, and of like things to master or even understand. So the way it works in the World of Light and in the spirits board is that you equip a main spirit, right? And these main spirits have a type, and there's like a rock, paper, scissors of grab, shield, and attack. So like if you're going up against a shield type or a shield type spirit, you have a grab type spirit, you will have just like a statistical advantage on them. That's just what it is. And they come with their own little boosts. So you get buffed either in like speed or defense or whatever attack. And then the masters, those like main spirits have 1, 2, or 3 slots that you can put like little support spirits on, and those don't affect your stats at all, but they do have different like things that either like you start with a weapon or like you have low gravity or like lava floors don't affect you or like you can't go to sleep or you have fire resistance or like any of these just hundreds of different like status effects basically is what they are. And all of them all of the like main spirits start at level 1 and they level up through you using them and fighting other spirit battles, or you can feed them snacks which come in small, medium, and large. And like a large snack will level them up from like 1 to 50 like immediately. And then there's more beyond that, but just
well, okay, so because when I played a little bit of World of Light, it kind of prompts you to equip like a main spirit and then some support spirits, and so I have leveled up some. I have leveled up like my main spirit. I think it's like Baby Mario and Baby Luigi and a buggy or something.
Yeah, in the buggy, that's an early one that you get that I've used a lot too.
Okay, so but the spirits, they don't carry over to like Smash mode or something. They are only in.
They could. Oh. There is an option in the rule set where you can turn spirits on.
Gotcha.
Which would then allow everyone. I've not tried this yet. But it would allow everyone to equip spirits. Which would be madness, but it might be sort of fun sometime to, like just get in there and actually use our spirits. But yeah, for you can't bring them into like classic mode or whatever. Like
okay, that's actually super helpful, like in helping me wrap my head around what spirits are and their like utility.
Well, here is a way to think about the spirits. You know how in Smash 4 every character had customizable movesets, and you could unlock these moves. So that, and this is a crazy thing that I don't think we talk about enough in Smash 4. Every character had 2 alternate moves for every one of their specials. So like you could have a custom version of Fox that had different special moves, and you could have, I mean, whatever that combination, 4 different moves, 3 different types for each one. So that could just be like a million different ways to fight Star Fox. But like you had to turn on custom moves. Like they had to be something that you allowed either in an online match or in Smash or whatever. This is basically the same thing, or the same concept of like you can use editable characters, but only in the context where you're saying, okay, editable characters are now in play.
That makes sense.
Otherwise, it's just base movesets for everyone.
So,
sorry, and one more thing about spirits and the World of Light is that a lot of the fights that you encounter in the World of Light essentially demand that you have the right spirits equipped to fight them. So like there's the Kapp'n fight, Kapp'n from Animal Crossing. It is it's just like 2 little islands. It is the world, right? Just 2 little islands and water everywhere. And you have no buoyancy, so you just like fall, you drown in the water right away, and it's super windy. Like to the point where you can't really jump from one island to the next. And I was just trying to like muscle my way through this thing, being like, I'm good at Smash, I can do this. But died like 10 times and then, went somewhere else around the world and then got a spirit that is resistant to wind. So then I go back in there and I'm not being blown around the map. And it's like, okay, now I can do this. Or you could go and find a spirit that increases your buoyancy, so that then you don't sink in the water. So like it keeps bringing you these challenges that would be like, if not impossible, like absurdly challenging to do without the buffs, and just being like, find the buffs out in the world and then use them to do these specific fights.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And I feel like that's one of the ways that this Smash Brothers to me is different from the other Smash Brother games that I've played a lot of, where this one actually feels geared towards single player a little bit more, where they are they want you to take your time a little bit in experiencing what the game has to offer, instead of just like throwing everything at you and being like, it's all there, just like go have fun. it piecemeals it out a little bit in a way that I don't remember experiencing in a Smash Brothers game before.
Yeah, well, because I mean, all of the Smash Brothers games have a system whereby you unlock the characters, right? They all do that, every single one of them. But this is the first one since the Nintendo 64 to start you off with so few characters. And when you know that you're going to get like 10 times as many characters as they start you with, and that's not an exaggeration, that like the game does feel very deliberate. And like for me, so I've been sort of rediscovering Link as I've been playing this game, and he feels very different to me in this one. He feels like heavier and a little more like methodical in this game.
I feel like all the characters feel a little bit heavier.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe not heavier, but everybody feels a little more grounded. Like you are less likely to get blown away.
Yes.
Early in a match.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen people get up to like 200%, close to 300%, way more often than I ever did in the past.
Sure.
So yeah, I agree. I agree that characters like Link, like everybody feels a little bit more like heavy in the boots.
Everyone feels a little bit beefier.
Yeah.
But so starting with the 8 characters, this is what I was driving at. Starting with just the 8 characters, even though I've played every other, Smash game, and my impulse, right? Like you give me the new Smash game and I'm going to be like, give me Ridley, give me the Inkling, give me Simon Belmont. I just want to play the new characters. But the game very smartly is like, no, first of all, you love these characters. So like play with Pikachu for a little bit, you idiot. But also play Link. He's different. And like, the fact that his remote bomb that you need to like detonate with a separate like down B is awesome. Like I love it so much.
Yeah, I've been maining like Kirby.
Yeah.
And I never really played with Kirby very often. Okay, so when I first got Ultimate, I like jumped right in, even though it had been a long time since I had played a Smash Brothers game. And I like I was playing like I knew the controls when I did not know the controls anymore. Like I was playing with confidence and nothing was working.
Yeah.
And it was a little frustrating. I had to like teach myself the controls a little bit. And Kirby I found was like a really good character for that.
Yeah.
And so I've been using Kirby a lot. And so yeah, I'm the same way. Like I really wanted to play with all the new characters, and I missed Little Mac because I played the 3DS version with like Little Mac was my guy. And
he's one of the, we're not actually going to be able to remember this, but I feel like he was one of the that you didn't have to unlock him.
I think you're right. Or it was super easy to get him because I remember getting him very early. Or just having him from the beginning. But yeah, like forcing you to like use characters that you maybe weren't going to be your go-to, and then adding new characters to it. Like as soon as I get one, I play with them for a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's really gotten me to try all these different characters that I wouldn't necessarily have given a shot.
Well, and I think the game does a really good job too of first of all, just like handing them out to you slowly, which is one thing, but then also we haven't talked at all about the classic mode, but I would like to use this as an opportunity to pivot over to it. I love the classic mode. It's short, right? It's 6 fights in like that obstacle course, which is negligible. It doesn't need to be there. If it were just not there, I would be fine with it.
I wish it was different for every. Was it Melee that had like a different course for like different like bonus level for
that was like
character?
different target practice for every
target practice. Yes, that's what I was expecting this to be like more. But when it's the same room every time,
it's a little like, okay, well, what even is the point of this? But the actual like fights themselves are like a fun little like themed sequence of characters. And one of the things, like one of my first thoughts as I unlock a new character is like, oh, I wonder what their classic mode is. And just doing that makes you play a handful of fights as that character, get kind of good with them, and then like you bring that into Smash. And that, I don't know, that's been super fun and super rewarding for me. Characters like I recently unlocked Pichu. And first of all, that little guy is so cute. Oh my god, he's cute. And he damages himself every time he uses a special move or like a smash. But he's adorable, and playing through his classic mode is just fighting against other Pokemon. It's perfect. Like it's just so cute and so like approachable and fun. And I found that to be basically true for all of them.
Yeah, I like classic mode a lot as well. I like the framing device for it,
Yeah.
where there's like a big mural, and where you're like what section in the mural you are is how it determines how difficult it's going to be.
Yes.
And then if you perform really well in a fight, you get to see more of the mural.
Yeah.
And you eventually want to see all of it.
Right. I fear I will never see the whole mural.
I also fear I will never see the whole mural.
My best score for finishing a classic mode right now is 9.0. And I don't know how I'm ever going to do to get to 9.9. That's one of those things I'm going to clear out with the hammer. I am sure of it.
An interesting thing that I have experienced, because again, not totally awesome at this game, is that some of the challenger fights, I am finding are really difficult.
The Ridley fight, I lost maybe 10 times.
Yeah. So my understanding is that the game scales. So as the more you unlock, the more difficult those fights become.
Interesting.
And I think if you lose, it scales like back down a little bit. But they are purposefully more challenging the further along you get into the roster. I also think that the order in which you unlock them is random.
I think that is at least partially true. But I don't know.
Well, because maybe not completely random.
Yeah.
But like I think your experience unlocking characters and my experience unlocking characters wasn't the same.
I would agree with that.
I think people's rosters can be different. So what they do, and I can't remember how they handled this in the past because I don't remember it being a huge problem for me, is that when you lose a fight, which I've done a bunch, then you have to keep playing, and eventually you can go back to where classic mode is, and there's like a challenger approaches gate that shows up, and you can go into it, and you can re-challenge one of the ones that you've lost to.
It's just sort of at random, too.
Yeah.
But the thing that's nice about that is that it allows you to pick whatever character you want. That's, because, say, for example, I just played through Pichu's classic mode, and then it's like, now try to fight Ike. And I'm like, Pichu's cute and all, but I don't know that I stand a chance here. And then lose to Ike, and then, play a little bit more, and then go back to the challenge room and be like, okay, now I'm going to send Link in there and get the job done.
There are also a few tricks that I've read online if you really just want to unlock every character.
I don't like this. You can go ahead. You can explain it, but I don't like it.
Basically what you can do is go into World of Light, load up a save file, and then back out, and then a new challenger will approach. You can fight that challenger.
Don't you have to close like after you fight the challenger? And then, like, close the game entirely?
Yeah. Then you close the game and restart it. And then go back into World of Light, load a save file, back all the way out. You'll get another challenger. I wonder how long that'll be around, or if they'll patch that out, or if that's just, like, a purposeful mechanic.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of thing that, like, if that's what you're trying to do, that there maybe should be some way to...
unlock all or something.
Yeah, to just unlock... But, I mean, like... I feel like I would be tempted to use that. But knowing that, like, now I can either play the game and slowly unlock characters, or I can, like, play the game in kind of an obnoxious way where I'm not super having fun and unlock the characters faster, I feel compelled to actually play the game.
Yeah, me too.
I cannot get over how much I like every new character pop. Every single time a new character approaches, I see the silhouette and I gasp, and Sarah looks and is like, who is that? And I say, that's Luigi. And she's like, how do you know that's Luigi? I'm like, because he's sticking his butt out like an idiot. I get happy every time. And they always stage the fights in a level that is appropriate for you to be fighting that character, which I know is an old Smash standby. So, like, it's nothing new that they're doing here, but it's just fun every time.
Yeah, I think this slowly unlocking characters I have found very satisfying. Like Breath of the Wild for me was once I had unlocked every tower and I saw the entire map.
Yes.
Like the game was still incredible, but lost some of that sense of excitement and discovery. And I'm really appreciating having that in Ultimate. But that being said, like, so for me, like because otherwise I don't know that this game would have the longevity other than just as like a party game. Like
Right.
I think I would get bored of it the same way I got bored of like Mario Kart playing by myself, where you're just like, yeah, it's Mario Kart and it's really good.
Right.
But
what am I working towards?
Yeah. But like you were saying, I totally, for somebody who like bought it at launch and was having like a launch party, wanted to have like a tournament with all the new characters, like
Yeah,
I could see how
where
it's like
that
a
would be
little bit of a
frustrating.
bummer.
Yeah.
But for the way I'm experiencing the game, I really appreciate the deliberate nature of the unlocks. And that being said, it happens all the time.
Yeah. All the time. Again, and like I played this game a lot this weekend, but it wasn't like obsessive about it. You know, it's did a lot of other things this weekend. And like I said, I've got maybe 52 characters, which is more than most fighting games will ever have. But I wonder if like part of the way that the like launch for this was designed was that like people would have time with it by themselves before the holidays, right? And then when it comes to when they're going back to wherever, you know, they're visiting their parents or they have time off from school or whatever, and they actually have time to play with their friends, that they will have impressive rosters by that point. And maybe different rosters from your friends. So when, you know, you're over at your friend's house and you're like, you don't have Ganondorf? I have Ganondorf. Let's play on mine. Like that seems like a cool, like that seems like a right experience to me, that there is a lot to do here on your own, and when you do, then you have a lot to do with your friends.
And I think they also got like the unlocking right, where it seems to be based on, if you've played for a little bit, we're going to show you another character, instead of some of the stuff they have done in the past, where it's like, have you played 1 million matches?
Yeah.
Then like Mewtwo's available to you.
Have you walked 300 miles with Mario?
Did you do like did you scour Subspace Emissary for this really like tiny corner that
Yeah.
and when you finally found it, then a character, like they got rid of all that.
Right.
It's just like, have you been playing in the game? Are you putting some time into it? Like you'll do like 2 or 3 Smash matches, and then you'll get a new challenger. Like I don't feel like what they're asking for in order to unlock these characters is dire.
Right. It's just that you do unlock them one at a time. So when you're doing one at a time for 60 something things, 70 almost, that it's gonna take some time. But I mean, yeah, even when I was playing with Ryan and Kelly, we were unlocking characters when the three of us were playing. So and then it's fun, like, because whoever wins the fight has to then try to square off against whatever Fire Emblem character just appeared.
Oh boy! Speaking of unlockable characters,
yes.
Man, did I not really miss having to fight against the Ice Climbers? Those guys are tough.
They are tough. Yeah.
Have you seen?
They'll freeze you. They'll
There's 2 of them.
You try to knock them off, and they just like hurl themselves upon each other.
And you knock one of them off, and it's like, not the real one. Doesn't count.
That was the dumb one.
Have you seen like the matches that people have set up where it's like 8 sets of Ice Climbers?
Mark, I did this. I did 8 sets of Ice Climbers and tweeted that I understood why the Ice Climbers weren't included in Smash 4. I get it. It's too many Ice Climbers. It's just chaos. But I mean, here's the thing. You do any 8-player Smash and it's chaos, because there's going to be like an assist trophy and no one can see anything. It's beautiful. Yeah. Ice Climber.
Yeah, it just feels, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate feels aptly named to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it really does feel like I'm enjoying this game in a way that I haven't enjoyed Smash Brothers for a while. I played Super Smash Brothers for the 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't own the Wii U version, but I played it. It seemed great, but the times I played it was like in a social, like environment. And on my 3DS, I always played solitary, and it wasn't the same like joy that I'm getting out of a solitary experience with Ultimate.
Yeah.
And I think it is that like sense of progression that was missing.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, if you get to the point where you have unlocked all the characters, where are you now, by the way?
I think I have like 35
Okay.
or 36.
So like
there's a couple in the
like half.
there's a couple in like the gate that I
Oh,
haven't
yeah.
gotten to that like because
they're always there.
they're
They'll
always
be
there. What is it? It wasn't Ryu, it was Ken.
Yeah.
Man, he just completely kicking my trash.
Oh yeah. I don't think I've seen a Ken yet. Except like in spirit mode or whatever. Yeah. Oh yes. So when you do unlock all the characters, there are then 1,300 spirits to collect. So like, and you can't get them all through World of Light. And you can't even get them all through the spirit board. You have to summon some of them, which is a whole other game mechanic that involves breaking down spirits that you have into their cores and then using them to summon another spirit that you then have to fight. And it's a whole thing. Like,
can you get multiple of the same spirit?
Yes.
Is that why you would want to like break them down to summon another?
Yes, that
spirit?
is why. And I mean, there are also spirits that I have that are garbage, right? That I'm like, I'm never going to use this thing, but I don't want to use them unless I have a duplicate.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, like,
It's like a Pokedex.
yeah, it's like a Pokedex. Yes, I want to have caught them all and have one of them all. Also, I don't know if like you can still like see it in your collection and it just like shows 0. I'm too scared to find out, you know? Like I always want to have all those little images in there forever. So we did get an email about Super Smash Brothers from Dustin that I would like to read. He says, "Hey, Patrick and Mark, I've been seeing you guys playing Smash online. Okay, actually only Patrick, but still. And I thought it would be fun to play a few rounds. I tried to figure out how to send a party invite or something like that, and could find nothing. Haha. Looks like the only option is to create a friends-only battle arena in the online selection. Would you guys be interested in creating one so we can play with you guys if you're ever online at the same time? If not, no biggie. Just thought I'd throw it out there. Hope you guys had a great weekend." Thank you, Dustin. I did have a great weekend. I think this is a good idea. I don't know how or when we would set this up. But I guess stay tuned for that.
That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah. And maybe we should get like an NCS Discord going or something. I don't understand Discord, but it seems like it might be a fun thing that we could play games
it's
together.
Slack for video games. That's how it was explained to me.
Oh, I mean, that sounds perfect. I like Slack.
So you can have like different channels, but it's
Mhm.
all in Discord. That's my understanding.
Look, and if someone else wanted to set it up and then shoot us an email, Nintendo Cartridge Society
At gmail.com.
That'd
be swell.
Yeah, and I would sign off on it in a heartbeat. I think that would be fun. Yeah, because right now, while I have played a little bit with friends on the couch, it still does feel like a mostly solitary experience to me. Mark, I think you and I should play together at some point here. And then I would love to play online and love to play with our listeners. That sounds like a ton of fun to me. Any other thoughts about where you are with this game right now, or your hopes playing it in the future?
I'm just really excited to keep unlocking characters. I finally got K. Rool.
Yeah.
So that was a fun one. But like Simon Belmont, where you at?
You haven't encountered Simon
Not yet.
I'm stuck on a Richter fight that maybe I did finish it. The Richter fight was giving me a hard time.
I'm dreading some of these later ones. Absolutely dreading it. Oh, so where's my man Little Mac? Love me, Middle Mac.
You gotta get your
Middle Mac?
Middle Mac. And
he's
then
not Little Mac.
Right. He's
Large
Middle
Mac.
I mean, it's called the Big Mac, and it's delicious. All right, Mark, let's close out this segment of the show. We, of course, would like to know how you are enjoying Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I know that you are all playing it because I've had more friends online this weekend than I've seen on the Switch.
I love opening
ever.
my Switch friends list, and it's just like a wall of Super Smash
Yep.
Brothers Ultimate, and then like one person playing Valkyria Chronicles 4 or something.
Yeah, you keep fighting the good fight, Valkyria Chronicles 4 guy. You're doing God's work. But yeah, share your experiences with us. Like I said before, I think we're both pretty excited about this game and having a good time with it, and we'll be talking about it for a long time to come. Sorry for those of you who don't like Smash. Sorry. If you like this episode, though, you could rate, review, subscribe on Apple Podcasts. All of that helps us out tremendously. If you would like to share it on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or in person, all of that sharing helps us out a lot. And we like it. You can follow us on Twitter. I'm at Patrick_Ellers. Mark is at MKE Mitchell. And the show is at Nin Cart Society. The Facebook page is just Nintendo Cartridge Society. Olivia Duncan made our logo. Our theme music is provided by 8-Bit Betty. You can get more of his music by going to 8bitbetty.com or by listening right now. For my co-host, Mark Mitchell, this is Patrick Ellers re-challenging Ridley and saying thanks for listening.
Do you like Christmas?
Uh-huh.
Do you like Christmas movies, good or bad?
Yeah.
Do you like podcasts?
Yes.
Do you want a podcast that reviews awesome Christmas movies that a lot of people think that are bad?
Yes!
Well, Ross, you're in this podcast.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you're co-hosting this podcast with me, Jackie.
Let's do it!
And we have special guests. It's called Most Wonderful Pod of the Year, brought to you by Campfire Media.
Oh, I love it.
So you can subscribe to it on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts.
Okay, I'm going right now. Here's my phone.
Merry Christmas. Let's ring in the holiday.
Campfire.